Hey guys, it is parrot baby season. That means that from now until summer, even maybe September, at least here in Florida, babies start to hatch. Depending on the species, they lay their eggs, and so the babies hatch at different times. It kind of seems to start with the conures, and then I've noticed that it sort of ends with like the African grays in the early fall, or the kites. And it sort of depends. Some parrot species lay twice a year, and so they'll have 2 clutches. But we're in baby season. Now, here's what I wanted to share with you guys about baby season. But first, I'm Kaylin, the author of the Parrot Bliss Bond, and I have several other books, including 30 perfect apartment parrots, so that you can find the right parrot for you, depending on whether the perfect parrot for you is quiet and small, or like an African gray, smarter, bigger, and if you have a big enough apartment, like the space, if the space works. African grays aren't loud. I don't know if you can hear my birds. My birds are loud. But so that you can find the perfect parrot for you, sort of regardless of the sound level you want and the size you want. Now, my mission is to help you have a more blissful bond, and today it is also to help you understand your baby in case you're getting a new baby. And even if you're not getting a new baby, maybe you'll understand something a little more about your parrot. Although if you already have your parrot and you've had your parrot for a while, you probably may already know this, but you might not know the following about babies, which I think is really cool. So first, this is Ita. Oh, she's so cute, right? Okay, let's do a close-up on her. She is a rosy-fronted conure. She's a baby, and I'm trying to get, do you see some of the rows coming out on her head? Oh, there, that's a really good angle. Okay, you could see some of the rows that's coming out like right on the tip and right on the sides of her beak. Oh, I think she's gonna be beautiful. My daughter wanted a rosy fronted for some time, and the opportunity came up, and lo and behold, here is Ita. Side note, Ita will get a partner. She'll get either, hopefully a male, but another rosy fronted as soon as the breeder has one to offer us. They won't be related, but that way Ita can have a buddy in addition to bonding, especially with my daughter. So what do I want you to know about babies that make cute sounds? You don't need to know this, but Ita is also a Puria conure. A Puria conure is in the same genus as a green cheek conure or a crimson bellied or a black cap. So she's in that family. All right, but here is what I do want you to know. Finally, I'm getting there. Even though Ita was weaned, we still fed her. We still offered her baby food in a syringe. And the syringe, it's a little plastic syringe. It doesn't have a needle or anything like that. In case you're not familiar, it's just a little plastic nose. Think of it as a straw, and attached to the straw is a syringe so that the human can give the straw to the baby and let them take it in their beak and eat. So Ita can eat on her own, but we still fed her. Why? For 2 reasons. Sometimes weaned, hopefully a breeder is making sure like for 3 days that the baby is eating all by themselves for 3 days and really eating. But if not, sometimes babies revert. Sometimes hopefully you have a really great breeder and a really great store, and they're going to sell you a weaned baby, but sometimes they're not. So for one thing, just in case you do need to feed your baby, I think it's always good to offer them food, because when you bring a baby parrot home, it's just like bringing an infant human baby home. You have to make sure that they are eating or feeding themselves. You can't just sit back and go like, oh, they'll eat, no problem. I've noticed that with the dog and a cat, I've never stopped to make sure they were eating. When we bring a adopted, rescued cat or dog home, or a baby kitten or a puppy, we've never, they eat. But they are a domesticated animal. They're not an exotic animal like a parrot. So don't assume that your weaned baby really, really knows how to eat, because even the change in environment can stress them out. It's not uncommon. My vet said it's common that you bring a baby home and they get an infection just from stress. So in other words, because they're stressed out, it lowers their immune system, and then they can get that infection. So it's really good to make sure that they are eating. Plus, number 2, It lets you bond with them because you're showing them that you care, that you're going to love them, you're going to take care of them. And number 3, in the wild, if you walk around and you look at the wild birds, like we have blue jays and mockingbirds, you may notice 2 birds. The baby is about the same size as the parent. You might not really be able to tell, because sometimes we look and we're like, oh, that's a baby. We can tell because the baby's going, chirp, 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 feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me. Even though it's flying around, clearly it can eat on its own. But the thing is, no baby, not humans and not parrots, go from being fed one day to fully eating on their own. Throw them out of the nest, they can go live on their own. They can feed themselves, they can fly, they can do everything. Kick them out. No, no, it's not like that, right? The babies follow the mom because the mom is, number 1, teaching them how to hunt, where to find the seeds or whatever, the worms, whatever. And number 2, she's still taking care of them. Why? Because they still love them. Actually, what's really cool and fascinating is that it is common with Parrot conures, like Ita here. It is common that the babies will stay with the family, with the parents, for a season. Like they hatch, like let's say they hatched in 2014, so they're babies and they follow their mom and the mom teaches them how to eat. They teach them how to fly, how to find home. They teach them everything. Then next year in 2015, the babies are now adults basically, but they will often stay and help raise the next set of babies. I think that a part of that is that way they learn how to be parents, but also they're helping. And when the parents have like 2 babies, 3 babies, 4 babies, 5 babies, 6 babies, it is a lot of mouths to feed. Of course, and the average clutch size is usually 3 to 6 eggs for the Parrot conures. And of course, that's one reason there's 3 to 6, right? So that if a couple don't make it, like hopefully at least out of those 3 to 6, at least a couple make it. Well, if the babies from the previous season stick around and help, that's going to increase the chances. So basically, if you feed your baby and you get some baby food, I think like any parrot store has them, like any I've noticed like Petco has it. I mean, everywhere I go, I don't know if Walmart has those in their bird section, but they might, you know, like it's pretty common these days, fortunately. And it's baby parrot food. What's up? Why are you shaking like that? You can get a little bag or a little jar of it. Mix it up. You can read the directions. You mix some warm water and the powder, and it kind of makes like an applesauce. And if it's too runny, it's too thin. And if it's too thick and it's not moving for you, it's too thick. And that either one's not really good for your baby. You want that in the middle. But then you offer them some food. And you know, it's not really about them eating like a ton of it. It's more about making sure, like I said, that they're eating, bonding with them, letting them know you care. When you do these things, you're going to just ensure their well-being as far as, you know, making sure that they are eating, but also their emotional well-being, because they're going to feel loved and cared for. And I think that that makes all the difference. Sure, you don't have to. We've brought weaned babies home and not had to feed them. We've brought weaned babies home that see the other parrots and they're like, hello, I'm a big bird. I'm a big boy or a big girl. You're not feeding me. I'm feeding myself. Thank you very much. You know, and it is a personality thing. Some of them are like that, but some, like Ita here, do like it because she doesn't have a companion right now since she's a new species. And so it gives her a way to connect with my daughter. All right, I hope I have made that clear. I like to repeat myself so that I stress the important factors. I think that that can make a really big difference between having a parrot that feels loved and is going to therefore be more loving with you, or a parrot who kind of feels like, you know, they got weaned and then they got put in a home, but they're by themselves and there's no one to take care of them and there's no one to make sure they're eating because you think they're eating. So that they're not stressed out and so that you can ensure the most loving and comfortable experience for both of you. There you go. Try to offer them some baby food and have fun doing it. It can be just a fantastic thing. Of course, in addition to syringes, you can also get the little bent spoons. It's bent kind of like a shovel, but instead of being round like a spoon, they're a little more like a V so that it fits right into their beak. And if they've been hand-fed, they'll know how to eat from it, unless they've eaten from a syringe. You know, if they recognize what you're using, they will come right up to you and want to be fed if that's what they want. And if they don't recognize it, if they were given a spoon and you have a syringe or vice versa, they might be like, what's that? Because they don't know how that works. So you may have to try both. I know, that's a little tricky. But there you have it. There you have it, so that hopefully you have a more blissful bond. She is like, oh, I want to preen you, or do you have some food? Hi, sweetie. Should we try feeding you? I am going to feed the parrot babies. I could try feeding you too. I have fed her a couple of times when my daughter's not around, because why not? Why not, right? When there's plenty, that means that it's a great experience for everyone. It's a wonderful, loving home. Thanks for joining me in this blissful Ita video. Stay tuned to see what other things I offer, and then I will catch you in the next blissful video. If you have any questions or comments, please put them below. Please give us one of these. We just hit 2 million views. Woohoo! So please share and give us one of these so that we get another 2 million. Thanks. See you next time.